Hi, writer friends, and welcome to part 3 of Right Away After Party. We are having a Q&A between Kath and I. She is off the hot seat. We're going to leave that one alone, and we're going to move on to our next question. Kath, if you
Didn't
please.
need to talk about it in part three. You did not. If
Accountability.
you're curious about the hot seat, go back
To
and
part
watch
2.
part two.
All right. Our next question to ourselves is, what was the question? I don't remember.
Do you use real people in your stories? Now, all of
Oh,
these questions, remember, they're questions that you have asked us over time, and we've been collecting them. And so here we are with the questions.
yes. All right. So you want to go first with that one?
Sure. Yes.
Okay.
Um, it's always a good question. I personally have never taken one person and put that person inside a story to create a character. But have I taken scenes of a person in real life or attitudes and used them? I have. I have. In fact, there's a scene in one of my books where I used something that happened to me with a dear uncle of mine. And that, funnily enough, I never thought about it twice in my life. And
Mm.
yet, when I wrote it for my character, it really felt a little dark.
Mm.
So it's
Yeah.
interesting what happens in life because you have
Mhm.
all the backstory of your life and your interaction with that person, right?
Yeah.
But a particular scene in your life lifted out in a vacuum and put into a book can be really powerful. So
I
it's just
agree.
like overhearing bits of conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
What
Exactly.
about you, Nick?
Yeah, throughout when our writing mentor, we have the same writing mentor, and she always said to take people in your life and kind of emulate them, but don't make them exactly the same, because
Mhm.
you don't want to be held liable that you always want to create the character. So I take bits and pieces of people and put them into a character, kind of mold them. Probably the one exception would be the fantasy that's currently in being circulated is
Mhm.
that I did take personal scenes from my actual childhood, and put them in there. There's actual real dialogue that I used when I was young. Um, so that is something different, but it's me, it's me
Mhm.
and me portraying me. So it was very cathartic. It was like the best therapy session of my life.
Mhm.
So it's disheartening a little bit when an editor comes back and says it's a little dark. I'm like, that's like the light side of like the abuse that I endured. Like, so, dark is not where I went with it, but yeah. So, like working out my own abuse on the page was really cathartic for me. And, but other than that, I think in my thriller, the sheriff, I kind of emulated someone that I knew, that also was a cop, and I kind of took on his mannerisms
Mhm.
um, and then I have a book called Sugarless, which is about a young girl that has type 1 diabetes. I think I mentioned this book before. I It's kind of shelved. I don't know if I'll ever publish that book, but I did emulate someone that I was in my life at the time that did have type
Why would you,
diabetes.
all right, why would you not publish it?
I just don't know if I write contemporary. It's a contemporary piece. Uh it has no like fantastic elements to it. There's no thrill to it. It's just real, just basic contemporary.
And don't you think the kids with type 1 diabetes would love to hear a contemporary story
I
about
think
having
I
that?
think I think so. I would have to revisit it and see what the story looks like.
Oh, for sure. I
She
mean,
has yeah, go ahead. What were
uh,
you saying?
that's okay. Uh, Jodi Picoult writes a
Mhm.
story, such a good story about a girl with osteogenesis imperfecta, which is the brittle bone disease,
Mm,
where your bones begin to break down. And her sister is so sad, they love each other so much, but everybody's focused on this very, very sick girl with brittle bone disease that
Mhm.
the sister begins to cut herself and she has food
Issues.
issues. Yeah, where she's binging and throwing up and doing
Yeah.
all the because nobody's paying any attention to her. So she is addressing two everyday life. Not well, not that many people that I know have the brittle bone, but the other one definitely they do.
Yeah.
The food issue is enormous. And
Yeah.
we're
I,
in a
oh, go ahead.
we're in a stage in the world and in the media where we're really paying attention and bringing to light all these things and
Mhm.
giving kids role models of people who have what they have, not always
Yeah.
the perfect hero, heroine who has no flaws.
Yeah. I know with sugarless, I was telling it from her point of view, and I
Mm.
think that maybe like that's kind of what tripped me up, especially with like the own voices and everything. Like I don't have diabetes, obviously, so that's like part of it. Like that, I guess I don't want to touch that book. I could tell it from a different point of view. I could tell it from like a sister or a brother point of view. That's the healthy one or something.
Hmm.
And then telling it from their point of view. But I mean, her plan is to eat her birthday cake, and so I mean, obviously that's not going to go well if that happens. So,
Yeah.
but I love the title. I love the title of Sugarless, and that she has type 1 diabetes. She was, and it was just interesting how I came about that story. So, but it was as I don't know, maybe one day, maybe
Maybe
one
one
day.
day. Okay. Well, it's been a series of questions and answers and which have led us down rabbit trails, and we hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, let us know so that we can do this again for you and for ourselves because we always end up learning something new.
Exactly. You never know where a story is going to come, and you never know where these questions are going to lead. So.
Yeah.
All
Well,
right, writer friends, love you so much. Like and subscribe to our channel. And thank you for spending some working time with us. And we hope you get some writing done today. Bye.
exactly. Talk to you soon. Bye.